It can be hard to forgive and let go, but it's important that harboring resentment and holding a grudge can hurt you even more. The words forgive really means to give something up for yourself, not for them. That is by Jack Canfield. So welcome to the Love Corner with Miss N. So hi guys, welcome back to this channel. I'm really grateful for the support you've shown me the last few episodes. I'm really grateful. I pray that we'll work this journey together. So today we have a very interesting topic. And the reason why it's also interesting is because I am my husband on the seat today. But we want to talk about different mentalities in a relationship that you need to deal with and that really affect the relationship. And for us, we'll give very practical examples that we went through. And most specifically, we want to really dwell more on family background that really affected our mentalities. How we were brought up, how our families run things, how we ended up doing things even in the relationship. So welcome, Mr. N himself.
Shukran.
How are you?
I'm fine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
How are you feeling?
I'm
that you're
feeling
here.
Sawa sana. Yes.
Okay. So I think we can go jump right into the topic.
Dive
right into the topic.
Yes.
I think first let's see what was our greatest battle in relation to mentalities that we had to fight, the two of us.
Oh, okay. First of all, I did not know that mentalities are a thing until we dived a bit deeper into our relationship and found how different we really were.
Yeah.
So how we were doing things, the priorities by which we were doing our things, how we used to interact with people, how we used to spend money, the things that excited us, those things. Of course, there is what now we came to realize when we got married, but I think that right now is the context of our relating period, and so it became a real issue about mentalities, and we had to sit down and try. First, personally, I had to sit down and kujichunguza, or trying to look, okay, so why are we so different? Why am I getting angry when she does this, and why is she not happy when I do this? And I realized it's not something that we could really blame anybody. It's because of where you have been from, the schools you went to, then how your parents were, and all those kinds of things. So mentalities are a really great determinant on how people relate. And if you do not sort them, especially in the courtship process, it can be a bit difficult to cope, especially when marriage or even the relationship itself.
So for you, from what I'm getting from you is that you have to find out about the different mentalities and the different backgrounds and all that way before you even planning for your wedding.
Yes, absolutely. Because now you are two different people who are now relating. You are trying to start a journey together. And if you are not on the same page, then you can't agree on anything. Absolutely, you cannot agree on anything. So in a relationship, there is not much really you are doing. But imagine now you people, let's say you succeed in a good courtship and then you get married, and you're supposed to make a decision on, for example, what to invest in. So one wants to buy a vehicle, one wants to buy land. So how can you agree on that? And you see those decisions, they don't just come.
True.
They come from how you are wired as a person.
Absolutely.
Of course, there's what we call personality. But then most of our personalities, I read somewhere that a personality of a child is really built from 0 to 7 years.
Oh, really?
Yes. 0 to 7 years, that's when the personality of a child
is formed, so to say.
Yes. Even if you look at the children that we are around with nowadays, a child is so sharp by the time he is around 7-10 years old. The child can ask you questions, very great questions. Like, for example, we have a friend. So this is an example. We have one of our church members. Her child is very young, And so the mom, when they are watching live stream, the mom asks, yule ni nani? And the child says, yule ni Jewel. Jewel wa nani? And she says, yule ni Jewel wa Jonathan. Yes, yule ni Jewel wa Jonathan. Na yeye anamwambia hapana, yule ni Jewel wa Apostle. Asema hapana, yule ni Jewel wa Jonathan. And that girl is so young, and she knows that Jewel got married to Jonathan. Now she's Jewel wa Jonathan, not Jewel wa Apostle. At that age. The reason why she's that sharp is because between the time she alianza kujijua venye ana vitu ana exposiwa to the schools these guys are going to nowadays. So by that time, like for example, the children of these days are so bold.
Absolutely.
Why? Because they are being taught to be bold. They can ask a teacher a question. For us, when you ask a teacher a question, you are rude. And it's not that you are you just want to know. Unatandikwa. Ukiuliza maswali mamako akwambia fanya kitu uliza maswali, unatandikwa. So that used to really bring our self-esteem down. So you are not even bold enough when you go to people. When you speak something unaambiwa nyamaza. Mpaka unatusiwa. You see, so vitu kama hizo. My parents did not do that, but then I could see in our neighborhood how they were like that. And so those are the things that when now you come into a relationship, since that's what formed you, it's very common and obvious that you bring that way of life to your relationship. So that's why you need to sit down and understand one another. That's why I think courtship is very important, because you try to understand one another. Now the time where sasa you have not even gotten married, mkiingia kwa marriage ni story nyingine, because now kuna kale ka feeling ka already sha get married and end up. So but now you guys take this very seriously. So now that's how I think mentalities are formed, by where you have come from, the things you have gone through in life. Like for example, myself, I am very tough in life. Not because I was born that way, but at a particular phase in my life, I really got frustrated being picked up na watu. Really. So I picked up a lot of violence. I picked up a lot of being hardy and anger. And vitu kama hizo. So that's who I was. And sorry to say this, I brought it to our relationship. And you see that it really affected us. For her on her side, venye alikuwa amelelewa is very different. Yeye ni mtu wa happy, yeye ni mtu wa kununueni.
Not the bad happy.
Not the bad happy. Yeye ni mtu wa kununua ma stuff, celebrating birthdays. So mimi kulingana amelelewa hizo vitu they are not necessary. Birthday. So now those kinds of mentalities are those that are the ones that we are saying are built up from your background, and they really affect how you relate. If you don't try, so you cannot solve all of them, but if you don't understand one another, when you get deeper in your relationship, it will be a problem. Like for example, you will come the day you're planning your wedding, msichana ameona gown, amesema mimi nataka ile gown mzuri. Yes, I can buy it. Wewe unaona gown, what, 50,000 buying a gown na kuhaya
and it's only one day,
na kuhaya ni 5,000. So mnaanza kuenda hivi. How you spend your money, where you spend your time. So Jewel alikuwa naona I'll save money, we go to Lord Errol and we spend a birthday there. Na ngambia hapo Ngara kuna morning blue and we will spend less than 300 bob. So why are you going there? So if I don't understand her and where she comes from, and she doesn't understand me, that's where now mentalities and backgrounds really shape a relationship, whether positively or negatively. And you can never know kila mtu akona background na mentality zake.
True.
And kama wewe ni nani na ni nani.
Absolutely.
So that's how it happens. There are some people like you can hear stories, some people saying my husband likes eating bread. Mwingine my husband evil. So those are small things that I really think you should take care of.
So I think let's now get deeper into our relationship. Not too deep, but the extent we can. What do you think was our greatest battle in relation to mentalities and backgrounds? What do you think really affected us a lot? what was our greatest battle when it came to fighting mentalities and background?
I think, to be brief, I will categorize the things that I really thought affected us into two. One is lifestyle, and the other one is money. So let me start with lifestyle.
Okay.
And so the example that I will give you already know them.
Yeah.
So you will agree. So in lifestyle, we are both from very different backgrounds.
Yeah.
And we were not, until recently, a few years ago, we were not that well off. So we really struggled with managing small resources.
Okay.
But let me go to lifestyle. So there are some culture shocks that I found when I started dating Jewel. Is that Jewel, she has been showered with a lot of love and affirmations from the time she was young. So when she comes and tries to do that to me, I feel like she's nagging me.
Yeah. Even
now, there's some things I feel like, for example, she would just come and tell me, babe, I love you, just from the blues. So I just, hata nashangaa sasa mimi namwambia sawa.
Yeah, I know, and I'm like, I've always known I love you responded by I love you too. Yeah.
So Mimi, unless your dad was just in good moods, would come and tell you I love you. Until when we were older, that's when my dad would call me, so Jonathan, son, we love you.
Yeah.
But then maybe over the phone or something. But then ati mketishwe chini, ati unatextiwa text message nini. It is just recently when I call my parents like 3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
When I was in campus and earlier, my parents, I would talk to them like after 3 weeks. And I'm calling them to ask for money.
Yeah.
So before, my parents would tell you I love you, unless it's a certain scenario you were talking and we took a But for Jewel, she was just being told, yani hata unaweza text you and I have sent you some money for lunch.
Yeah. I wanted to say that example too.
I want to take you out. I want you to do this for you.
Yeah.
For us, it was nothing like that.
Yeah.
So when we were dating, she was trying to either get that from me or trying to do that for me because that's her. Then I used to feel as if you were nagging me.
And for me, it was filling up. I felt it. I know what it means to be loved. I know what it means for someone to show that they value you. Yeah. So I was not really asking for that from you. I was actually doing it because that's a natural response for me too.
Yeah. So
it not
that really bothered me. And normally it used to feel as if, okay, she's doing this so much for me. She always tells me I love you. I mean, she reciprocate back. So I used to feel as if I'm a bad boyfriend.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it really affected me, and I used to even almost tell you usiseme hivyo, sinajua. So unless we are in a certain situation where it is meant to be said, but not every time at I love you, like when I tell you I love you on Mondays for the whole week.
But that's what he used to tell me. I mean, that's he's not joking. He's telling me.
When I tell you I love you on Mondays for the whole week.
It's for the whole week.
When I tell you good night, you don't have to respond. It's good night.
No. Good night, you say good night.
Now mimi sikuwa hivyo.
Si atuko tunaambia. Now I understand. I was saying then it used to disturb me. Yeah.
So those are some of the other things. When it comes to lifestyle, things like celebrating stuff. Like birthdays. Anniversaries. So I was really shocked that when you dated, because we dated for around 5 years, we used to celebrate our monthly anniversary every 29. So before in here system, I used to get very bored. Because now I take you in a standard that I cannot forget our monthly anniversary of 29.
Yeah.
Because she will remember. So I look bad. I look as if I'm not the one being invested in the relationship. So I had to remember, but it was bothering me.
Even achievements, like getting a job or getting something huge.
So we have to celebrate what? All the things that I have achieved in my life, from graduating from 4, graduating campus, all my birthdays. Those are normal things in life. I went to campus, I have to graduate. They are normal things.
It's nature.
So why do we have to make a big fuss about it? But her, kwa nyumbani wako hivyo. While even the parents celebrate birthdays at their 50s. So from that background, when she comes and at my 24th birthday, she wants to celebrate. My 25th birthday, she wants to take me out. 26th birthday. So every year, every birthday, it's being celebrated.
Yeah.
So I had to sit down and look at myself and call myself for a meeting. So I had to call myself for a meeting and ask myself, okay, so is it her fault? Is it that she's too nagging, or no? There has to be somewhere.
Yeah,
so when I was able to attend her parents' birthday, the dad and the mom, and they did big birthdays, and they spent quite a good amount of money celebrating their achievements, each at 50.
Yeah.
And I saw, okay, so this is where this thing comes from.
Yeah.
It comes because even their own parents celebrate life.
Yeah.
So even myself, I started embracing it. If now them at their age they can celebrate their birthdays, it means also I can celebrate mine.
Yeah.
And that's why she's always celebrating birthdays.
Yeah.
So now those are the things, as those two examples are the examples that I used to get pissed off with. So after every celebration, she used to give me like a gift and a surprise, and I used to get really angry.
Yeah.
Because also the things like giving gifts are not normal to us. The only person who used to do that was my mom, and my mom could not bring you a gift ati akuletea keki kule. Alikuwa anaenda anakuja na jumper. So anasema kuna baridi, nimeamua niende nikatafutia kila mtu ya dad yangu na ya nyinyi wote watoto. Kuna baridi, nimeona jamaa zangu zimeisha. So you don't take that as a gift. So you take that amewaletea jumper na baridi. Yeah. So these days in our family, that's when we get gifts. Yeah. But then kitambo ilikuwa. Yeah. So those are the things which really affected our relationship. I used to get angry, I would get frustrated, why she's doing these things, and I cannot be able to afford to do them back. Yeah. All those things. So
you felt insufficient to some extent.
Yes, I used to feel insufficient. Why? Because you are doing too much and I'm doing very little. For me to, even right now, for me to think of a gift, I have to really think. Yani lazima nifikirie sasa nitanunulia huyu, because it is not in my mind to think about ati ni observe jewel nione anapenda hina. It's not natural to me, so I have to really struggle.
So that was a lifestyle.
Yes.
Let's go to money.
Good. Now money is where now the other big bone is. The bone with the bone mark.
That happened for 5 years. Even today.
Yes.
It's still an
so from our background, we did not have a lot of money. So what happened is that when you have like 200 bob, since you don't know the next 200 bob, of course my dad used to give us 200 bob. Since I don't know whether tomorrow my dad will wake up and say he has no money to give us 200 bob, the real deal was to hold money, holding money. So the rule was, and if Jackson Kareo is watching, he can say you hold to 50 bob until that it is very necessary, emergency, to spend that money. Yes,
50 shillings.
You'd rather walk from here to like around 10 kilometers, because you cannot spend that 50 shillings. Iende kesho. Even when
you're not saying 200.
No.
You're saying 50 shillings.
50 bob. You just look for, like for example, we used to go to town with Jackson, and when we go to town, we have money in our pockets, but we have to pitia kwa watu hivyo tuone kama kuna mtu atatubuy lunch ili pesa tusitumie, because you don't know about tomorrow.
Wow.
So we used to hold on to money so that we can have something to spend tomorrow. So fast forward, and I have come to Nairobi, and now we are living. That's the same kind of mentality.
Okay.
So I will tell you the truth. I came to campus in the year 2012.
Yeah.
So do you know when I ate my first pizza? Pizza. 2014. When I was that year.
You're serious?
Yes. That's when I ate my first pizza. And I don't know whether it's you who bought it or
if it's me who bought, it was not 2014.
It was?
Yes, it was
13.
No. It was 2016.
No, that was way later.
Yeah, of course. It was 2016, yes. I remember.
So 2014, I think we were just
as your friends or something.
My friends, my school friends.
Yeah.
That's when I ate my first pizza. And the reason why I did not want to eat pizza is not because I could not get the money, but spending 1,000 on just pizza. 1,000. Do you know what 1,000 could get me on my school mess? So my school mess was 23 bob. Yes. So that's rice and is serious. So 223 bob for lunch. If I take lunch and supper, that's 50 bob.
Yeah.
So 1,000 bob, it's a whole month.
Or even more.
Yeah.
Oh no.
No. So,
but 20 bob to me was chapati pekee.
You see. So now those are the things that really made us make me angry.
Okay.
Because you could just come and let's go out. We go, and whatever we are going out for is not something that will make me not eat supper in the evening. Because we are going out for ice cream.
Yeah.
So we would for example go to Lord Errol.
Yeah.
Get served on a big plate, but chakula iko pale katikati. So what used to make me very angry is because I have to go back home and look for food.
Supper.
Yes. Because if I'm spending 2,000 bob on a plate, I'm supposed to eat like for a week. So nikikula hiyo food, wiki mzima niko sorted. But then it's small food.
But do you think let's digress. Do you think it was the thing that body was not the amount of money, it was the amount of food?
Yes, because you see the amount of money should match the quantity.
Okay, I hear you. Okay.
You see. Now, how we have been brought up is that you have to really have as much value for the money you spend as possible.
I hear you. Okay.
Now, let me give you context. When we were living with my fellow very good friends, when you go to a place called Wamere, there in Ngara, opposite Ngara, Fig Tree, there was a hizo mabibanda za watu wa soko. When you eat 50 bob, that's breakfast and lunch and supper. So
really?
Yes, let me give you context. So we don't take breakfast, you just take like mandazi mbili and chai. And it's not chai, it's tea. So you so mumekaa hivyo the whole day bila kukula kitu. So what you do, you make sure you eat at around 3:30 or 4.
Oh, so you
not yes. So when you go and eat kwa mere, when you do like 50 bob and then or you do like 60 bob and over 10 bob, then you make hadi supper. So you see now, if 50 bob can give me this much food, what about 2,000 bob? They should give me eternal food. No. So that's what used to bore me, because the issue is not spending the money, it's what you're spending money on. So how would you go and spend 350 bob on Cold Stone?
Or ice cream.
Yeah, and get ice cream.
350
bob is a lot of money. Is what you used to spend for a whole week. So if now you look that thing, it's not even about the money. First of all, yes, we were struggling money-wise, but then it's also understanding how do you spend the money. So ice cream was a normal thing. Eating pizza, going out for this hotel. You even go for holidays outside country. So now, coming to me and trying to say, now Jonathan, we can spend this money on ice cream. We can go to this hotel and spend. We can go to this hotel and spend. And we are spending this much money. It used to disturb me. The other thing is that I have the mentality and this is a very bad mentality. And this was it's called poverty mentality. And this mentality was if you spend money, you are imeisha. So
what do you mean by if you spend money imeisha?
So like for example, if I have 1,000 bob, Nick break 1,000 bob imeisha. So if I spend even if it's 20 bob from 1,000 bob, imeisha. So I'd rather not do something.
So you'd rather keep the 1,000 and spend another different amount?
Yes, I would rather go and borrow 20 bob from my friend to go spend ya kwenda tao ama ya kwenda place nyingine ama 50 bob niende home, not to break this 1,000. Because my mentality is if you break this 1,000, of course now imevunjika, I'll just spend it. And if I spend it, I don't know whether I'm going to get another 1,000 again. So that's the thing that used to affect me, especially in terms of money. And to bring it even closer home, it really affected us when we were even planning for our wedding. Because initially, when we were planning our wedding, COVID was not there. So our wedding was supposed to be a bit big because of who our parents are. And it was supposed to cost around 2 million. So then digit 2 million gave me a lot of stress. Because I'm wondering,
I remember that.
Hey, why do we spend 2 million on one day?
I know.
How? So what are we spending on? And it used to disturb me. I used to with our best couple to go to a meeting. I used to blast in the air. Because I'm wondering, guys, 2 million nini. So they don't understand the reason why people are planning a big wedding, because hey guys, you people have a lot of family influence. Your parents have a lot of influence. But you see, my parents are my parents. Jonah ni Jonah. Where are my parents if they have a lot of influence? Where were they when I was eating 350 a week? So I know. So those are the things that really affected us. And it had to take a lot of work. And sometimes even asking God, okay, you have brought two different people together. You have to have a way
that you have to live together regardless.
So if right now I can go and buy a jumper at 1,000, or I buy headphones at 5,000, or I buy a camera at expensive money, or I go out and spend money, it's really a lot of work that has been done. To show you that, by the way, and when I started spending money to enjoy myself, for example, I go to a hotel. Like for example, right now I can just sit in my house, naniboeke. Nitoke hapa, niende Java and sit down, and I won't just use my computer, but I want to interview with Java. I now I do that. But it was not that way. And have realized that even the more I spend money, the more it comes. When I was not spending money that I saved, I was still a broke fellow.
Money is a currency.
Yes. To flow. So those are the two things: lifestyle and money, and they really affected how we related.
And then also in relation to money, it was very easy for you to sort your friends out than you would sort with me.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe you could talk about, because you would buy like Jackson something, and when I ask you for something small, like maybe buying for me that 50 bob, which I never did, but buying that 50 bob rice and whatever, you would prefer doing it to Jackson or to do it.
Yeah, now that's a totally different story, because that's about she's a lady. I cannot spend her money on her because I don't know that we have a future. So let me spend with people whom I know. Kesho atakuja kunisort. So it's not about, that was not about money.
Something very different.
That was not about okay, you are a lady, why would I spend money on you? And I don't know whether you'll be there tomorrow. So that's how different story.
Okay,
you should come over that. But that was the reason. Yeah, but even when I was spending the Akina Jackson, I'm not spending much money.
Of course, you're not spending much money.
The much I could spend on Akina Jackson was chips and soda.
Which was 100.
150. Less than. Because chip was 60 pop, soda was 30 pop.
690.
Yeah, so that was soda. Okay. So those are the things that we do in Akina Jackson. Not spend much money. So those two things, there are so many other things about mentality that we talk about. But then those two things, like the things, lifestyle, how mpaka kuvaa, hizo vitu zote, and especially money. Those are two things. And I think what I would need, because there has to be a resolution after all that discussion, is that it is okay to be different.
Absolutely.
Very okay.
Very true.
It's okay because kila mtu ametoka mahali pake.
Absolutely.
But then you people are relating, and you have to come into a consensus. You have to come into agreement.
It's a journey, by
yes. A relationship, whether you are in the courtship process or you're in marriage, but in this context, in the courtship process, it's not about giving 50-50. It's about giving 100-100. Relationship, where I don't know whether Jill has talked about it, if it's loving each other, it's about laying down your life for the other person. So if it's about laying down your life for the other person, the things that I have believed in that rule how I operate, now I have to not consider them and consider her and her things. So before I realized that, I realized if I don't have that mentality of okay, yes, I have my own thing, but then it is also about her. She's part of my life. If you don't have that in your mind, yes, if you don't do that, then you have a lot of trouble, even when you enter into marriage or even when you're relating. Utapata utakuwa unatoka kwa huyu msichana unaenda kwa huyu mwingine. Kwa nini huyu hafanyi kenye unafanyanga? Ati huyu akulangi oats. So ati sasa ati huyu sijui afanyangi nini. So what happens is that since you are selfish to your own ways, you're already set on your ways.
I hear you.
She has no place in your life, and that's the trouble. So you have to come, agree, study your partner, know what where she has come from.
Yeah.
When you get close to getting married, that's how we're going to see them there. Like for example, Jewel always complain that I don't sizimangi stima kwa nyumba. Mimi nikiwasha stima hapa, stima zote za nyumba zinaweza kaa on.
I know.
But when she came to our house, she realized, hawa Jonathan ni better. Kwetu mpaka nje ya security mchana.
Yeah, security. Yeah,
iko hivi. Why? That's where nimepata hiyo tabia.
Yeah.
Nimepata tabia kuwasha, mimi used to.
Yes.
Now, another thing I used to bug me a lot is that Jewel does not talk slowly. Yani, si slowly.
With a low voice.
Yeah. Yani, Jewel lazima, akiwa kwenye John, babe! Yeah. Yani lazima tu scream until you go to their house. And Jewel is asking her sister not for something. They are a whole sentence and she's upstairs. And everybody in their house is screaming.
Don't say screaming. See, it sounds
shouting.
Bad. Not shouting.
Shouting.
You have loud voices.
Yes. So,
it's naturally loud.
Anaita kule, na yeye anaita mwingine ako nje, mwingine anaita doggy, mwingine anaita. So, they are very loud. And so I understood, okay, let me not get angry when she does that, because that's how she has been.
Yeah.
So when we come to our house, Jewel does not shout as much as she shouts now, because anajua sitaki mtu akishout. And also mimi nimeanza kulearn how to switch off lights.
Yeah.
Juu kwa wana switching off lights everything
every time.
So now you see now how backgrounds and our families affecting us.
Yeah.
So you have to understand. If it means you talking about some things you will not talk about. Mimi singejoa venye wana screen until.
Yeah.
So but then visiting the parents.
Sound bias,
me shouting.
See shouting, speaking with a loud voice.
Shout with a loud voice. So
anyway,
yeah, so that to me I would say it is doable. You don't have to be the same to be compatible. Yeah, you can be different, but then understand one another. Yeah. Where does she come from?
Yeah.
Where does he come from?
Yeah.
How do we come in the middle so that we can have our own thing? Because now also you have to come with your own things and the way your family is unique.
Yes.
So that also your children can have a pattern.
Yeah.
So if I don't like something about our family,
and
she does not like something about their family, we have to create something that we both like. That is good for our family.
Culture,
that even our children come and take up that
absolutely.
culture. Yeah. So if this does not start, we are barely a year in marriage, and so most of this work is being done during when we are relating and during courtship. Yeah. So do not go and just do lovey-dovey in your dates. Yeah. Try deep, understand.
Yeah.
Anatoka wapi? Why does she does these things? Kwani anafanyanga hivi?
Yeah.
So that's the aim of courtship. Yeah. Si lovey-dovey ati ati chung. No. It's understanding one another.
My ice cream dates.
And
also in regards to that, in regards to creating a culture for your family, also some things that you do in your family and some things I do in your family are good attributes, so we can't bring them in.
Yes,
but then they still become ours in relation to that will be what Jonathan and Jewel does.
Yes,
for example, like traveling in our family is very paramount. We travel a lot.
For us, traveling
is not but you say I brought this here, now we travel a lot together. You see, so it's adding into family, like sharing in a family. You guys are very good when it comes to, I love your family for one thing, you're together, you never leave each other. Yani even your relatives you go for, yani nananga graduation ya kazi nini mumejaa nini wote. Us guys are not that extent. So you see, you can carry that forward. So when I know even my family, when you're having a relative, I know I need to carry him. So like the way you guys do. So either way, we have to create that together. But we can still pick from them the best things and the negative ones we can draw.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, I think, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm done.
You're done?
No, I'm Jonathan.
No, you're Jonathan. Okay, I think that's all for today. I hope you've learned something from this discussion. You can be sure he'll be a very frequent guest. Whenever he's available, because I'm very busy. And thank you for coming today.
You're welcome. So
we'll meet in my attempt. Anyway, bye guys. See you on the next episode.
See you.